welcome back to our program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Tulip and Golf. Now, moving on, just before we go to the demonstration, we have updates once again, very sadly, about the incident down south. There has been a report about the incident, a bomb explosion. In Pattani province in particular that wounded 2 soldiers altogether. They say that these 2 soldiers were patrolling the area to provide security for the students as well as teachers of Ban Jakhe school in Sai Buri district of Pattani province. And they say that you might think that there's a bomb underneath the ground and such, but this time is actually a little bit more frightening because 2 people on motorcycles actually drove past by and threw a hand grenade.
Oh.
So that's quite disturbing because obviously normally we see that they plant it underground and then they
will
detonate it and such.
Right.
But this particular case, it was just so severe that the attempt was just in broad daylight, obviously. And they say that luckily no one in the school itself were actually wounded. But still, at this point, there has been quite a bit of damages to the area. They say that the not even grade 2, a nursery windows of the nursery room has been broken. And the 2 of the soldiers has been sent to the hospital already, to the Somdet Phra Yuparat Sai Buri hospital. And they say that at this point, both of them are in a safe condition already, luckily. But they say that the people in the area, the schools in the area of the school, teachers and students were still there at the time. And luckily, none of them were actually hurt. It was just these 2 that kind of take the plunge for the others. And they say that at this point, the school immediately closed down. And they say that they probably will open again on the 21st. But this is one of the incidents that you hope will never happen because to live in that condition on a daily basis, not knowing where and when the attack going to be. And this time it was quite close to the school and there are teachers and students on site. So this is quite disturbing. Now another incident is the fact that there are several of the bombs that were found in Songkhla province in Tepa district. They say that the soldiers, the authorities were actually able to find 3 of the bombs that were planted around the area after there was a report of the first bomb that was exploded. So the team went into the area and of course they were very careful at this time because they know that probably there's some bomb that were planted around the area, and surely enough there were one at the mobile phone signal post and the others are actually just 10 meters away from each other. And they say that it was triggered about 10 minutes later, but luckily no one was wounded from this incident, and they were actually able to take the 4th bomb away from the scene as well. So I guess, Songkhla province, that this incident is very lucky because no one was actually injured from the incident.
True.
It could have been really, really bad.
Yeah.
And obviously with the telephone signal post, that means that they probably going to lose all communication as well if that ever exploded.
Okay, heavy stuff. Moving on from heavy stuff, I'm not sure if this, for some people, even though it's politics, but for some people, they look at it as a lighthearted way. We are talking about whistleblower protesters that it's become a symbolic gesture to blowing whistle into the politician or the person that you don't really fawn to so much. And it's encouraged by the protester, by the core leader of the demonstration at the stage, to if you don't like someone or if you want to show your opposition to the amnesty bill, this is the good way to show your opposition. Just blow the whistle to the people you don't like. So there was a report when Plot Prasop Suratsawadi, the Deputy Prime Minister, was in Phichit province. He was there for the public hearing about the making the Bung Si Phai see Phai Pond to be a reservoir for the province. Of course, there will be people that agree to it, and there will be people that don't like the idea. So apparently, while he was on the way from his car to the venue for the public hearing, there are some people that approach him and blow whistle into his face. Not exactly directly into his face, but to him, just to show their opposition for the amnesty bill, because of course he's a deputy prime minister, and also the opposition to making Bung Si Phai to be the reservoir. Apparently, he has been prepared himself for this, so he just took out the whistle from his pocket and blow back into the protesters.
Yeah.
Which, you can take it as a something lighthearted way. And the reporter asked him whether he's angry or frustrated. He said he's fine. He's not angry with these people, and as long as they don't use rude words or some curse, he's fine with it.
Right.
But another person is not too happy with it. Apparently, yesterday, DSI Chief Tharit Phengdit just held a press conference in response to Mr. Suthep earlier, because at the demonstration site at Ratchadamnern at about 8-something p.m., Mr. Suthep said on the stage that he encouraged people to include DSI staff and the DSI personnel itself into the symbolic gesture of blowing whistle too. So because of that, Mr. Tharit has came out yesterday in a press conference and accused Mr. Suthep that he ordered people to attack DSI officials, and he is threatened to use legal action against Mr. Suthep himself. There was a report. Mr. Tharit himself, actually, when he was walking around the department store on Sunday in Jangwathana area, there was a couple of people blow whistle into his face. So for him, he feel as though that was more like a personal harassment.
Okay.
And he said that his staff also a couple of his staff also faced the similar incidents in the government compound on Jangwathana Road. So he has instructed his staff to actually take pictures of people that blow the whistle to them. And he said that he could charge these people that they breached the criminal code section 370 and 337, and he can use the photos if his staff took some photos as the evidence.
He ordered his staff to take some photos of these people too.
Yeah, so. It's for him, it's more like a harassment.
Right.
I can see that happen, but there's a lot of politicians these days, especially in the last couple of weeks, that has been blowing whistle too in the face, and they haven't pressed charges. So I guess it's depend on how you take it. If I got people whistle into my face often enough, I might feel harassed as well, because sometimes you're not sure what will come after that. So I guess that's why he feels threatened.
Right.
And he said there might be some legal action against those whistleblowers and also Mr. Suthep for ordering the attacks.
All right. Well, it seems like, we want it to be peaceful, and there's, trying to find different way to express it. But I guess as long as it doesn't violate other people's right.
True. True.
Just so if you want to, I don't want to say don't do it, but of course I don't want to say that, you cannot do it either. Or the thing is, I want you to express it.
It's a very fine line between
because the whistle, the noise could be,
True.
some people could bear it.
Yes.
But it could be unbearable for a lot of people.
It's a very fine line between harassment and exercise your right.
That's true.
In the whistleblowing gesture.
All right. Well, since we talk about whistleblowing, we're going to talk a little bit about whistleblowers and what they have in mind at this point. It seems like this week going to be quite a tough week for the government, because it's not only, I guess, the fight outside the parliament itself. Inside the parliament, there's a lot of talk about censure debate as well. But at this point, there's several demonstrations that ongoing and the security is needed to be in place, making sure that everything is ready. So of course, Police Lieutenant General Adun Sang Sing Gao has came out and talked about this and said that he is very concerned about in terms of the violence that might be instigated by the third party. So they're asking all the demonstrators to be very, very careful, first of all. Second of all, he would like to clarify himself in terms of several points and issues. They said that there's quite a bit of the skirmishes with or a clash that has been done with the protesters and the officials themselves on the 16th. And they say that at this point, they don't know who actually instigate that violence. He said that to be very, very careful. And of course, the red shirt people are actually got together as well. Now, they said that yesterday there has been a report that they got together at the Imperial Lad Prouth, the shopping malls. Now, Kun Jatupan Prompan, Dr. Weng To Jirakan, as well as Kun Thidat Hawan said were there and talking about a big gathering that will take place today all the way to the 20th. So today and tomorrow at the Rachamankala National Stadiums. That means that if you're going to pass through the area, brace yourself for a traffic congestion because that might happen. And they say that it will start today at noon and all the way to tomorrow. They say that when they're going to finish, though, they did say that on the 20th, but they say that they don't know whether or not they will disperse on the 20th. And they say that this is only to show that they are supporting democracy system. And they say that they don't want other people, so they are saying that the other anti-government are not playing by the democratic rules. So they say that they are there to press on the fact that there needs to be a democracy here. And as for the fact that there has been a report of one of the red shirts turned, I guess, anti-government, Kun Parishat Pu Nok Yung, who got on the stage of the anti-government protesters just over the weekends, and she was pretty much saying all the bad things that the red shirt has been asking her to do and such. And they just say that, well, Kun Parishat is actually has been, inside the red part of the red shirt movements. However, they say that obviously this is one of the tactics that the anti-government protesters are using, or especially the opposition parties are using against the red shirt people themselves. So they say that to play it nice and clean and don't do any kind of things like this. However, at this point, Kun Jarupong Reung Suwan of the Interior Ministry also came out and talked about the fact that they would like all the protesters to be, I guess, removed from the area as well prior to the December the 5th, which is the Father's Day for Thailand and His Majesty the King's birthday, because they say that at this point there has to be a lot of preparation, the lightings, the preparing of the venues and such. So they are hoping that something would be done in terms of removing at least all the people from the area. And they say that at this point there has been a talk by Kun Suthep Tuaksuban, obviously saying that on the 24th, that will be one of the biggest gathering yet. And Kun Suthep Tuaksuban also talked to over 4,000 people yesterday at the Democracy Monument on the Ratchadamnern Road Avenue, saying that he will actually be moving forward in terms of trying to fight against this fight. And there are also a talk about the people in the Urupong area, the vocational students that joined the rally itself, saying, trying to keep them calm and try to press on the case that there should not instigate any other violence and be a little bit more careful in terms of, I guess, dealing with their tempers and such, because they don't want to instigate any violence. This is supposed to be a very peaceful rally.
And we still hope that it will be quite peaceful.
Yes, let's hope so.
So far, it has been more peaceful than it has before.
That's very true. So hopefully there's not going to be any clash, because the red shirts say that even though they're gathering today, they're not going to clash with others. They say that they're going to be where they are. So hopefully no one's going to instigate violence. They are trying to keep everything calm.
Okay. And I think it's not too bad when their demonstration site not too close to each other.
That's true, because that's going to be a long walk.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and we will talk about the official visit from Pakistani Prime Minister.
As well as a little bit on the 310 MPs that people are submitting a petition against them, asking for their impeachment. So,
And also what senators has talked about in the House yesterday. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.